What is up, YouTube? It has been too long. It's been a couple of days since we've chatted about Delve, and in this video we're just going to briefly go over your cart strategy. So what is it that you should be upgrading, and when should you be upgrading it? I've got a bit of a cold, so if I sound really nasally, it's because I look really weird right now in every way, shape possible. There we go. Quick hello. Yes, I do have tissues shoved up my nose right now, so that way I'm not just dripping ooze all over my keyboard and all over the computer. So anyway, hopefully none of you have a terrible cold. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Even the worst scammer in PoE, I would not wish this cold on them. Anyway, so talking about the Voltaxic generator and strategies for delving, I am presently, all things are always contextual in PoE, I am presently at, going to push for Delve 173. I'm going to aim for 200 here this week. That's what I'm doing. The build that I'm running is a endurance charge stacking double nebulock juggernaut. Here's the passive tree really quick. I'm using a 6-link lore weave, using a Devotos, using double nebulocks, using a Tomb Fist, really crap Stygian Vise, Combs Roots. I need to get those perfect, and then double Combs Way. Watch out for Combs Sign scammers where they put in Combs Sign instead of Combs Way. See, I accidentally bought one over here. Combs Sign, don't get scammed. It's like 2x for a 2C thing. Don't get scammed. Really terrible amulet up here, and then Wise Oak, and then a bunch of other stuff. The passive tree looks like this. It's pretty basic. It's pretty much copying Morph's Delve build with his Juggernaut. Morph is in the top 5 right now. I don't know. I could look up right now exactly where he's at, but me looking up right now is going to be different from when you're looking up and watching the video. Anyway, so Morph has been one of the guys that's been pushing solo Delve, and he's doing great with this endurance charge stacking. And you can see, like, anything that has like endurance charge on the passive tree, we're going to go get it. Well, for the most part, for max endurance charges at least. And then, of course, you've got 2 additional endurance charges from your double Combs Way, so that's 3 plus 2 is 5, plus your additional or your base of 3, so that gives you 8. And then I think somewhere along the line I've got 9. I forget how I'm getting 9. Maybe it's 4 on the passive tree. I can't count. 1, 2, 3 on the passive tree. Yeah. Oh, right, and then 1 from my right here. 1 from unflinching. Man, my brain just does not work when I have a cold. Anyway, so there you go. So 9 endurance charges. And typically what you want to do is you want to upgrade your cart in such a fashion that it plays to the cart will play to your playstyle. So what I mean by that is that some people look at their cart and they go, hey, why is it that your cart looks different from mine? Or why is it that your Azerite choices and how you spent it are different than mine? The way how I'm playing this, and so I'm speaking again from my personal perspective, is that I wanted to upgrade my sulfite capacity as much as possible, so that way when I choose to delve, I'm able to spend an extended period of time delving. And then when I'm choosing to map in order to refill my sulfite cap, that I'm able to get into a flow of mapping, and I'm not simply capping out after 1 or 2 maps and then going, oh, okay, so now let's go back to delve. Because it just doesn't feel great when you're going from delve to map to delve to map to map to delve to delve to map. Like that doesn't feel great. What feels great is, all right, I want to do like 5 or 6 delves, and then I'm going to do like 5 to 10 maps. That feels a lot better, getting into a groove of each thing. Darkness resistance, I put like at the lowest or second lowest tier for upgrading out of these 3. Like, obviously, because it's simply not that important. If you play on top of the cart, and the people that I've seen complaining about needing to upgrade your darkness resistance, like, yes, if you want to do a run in the dark build, then you're going to need to upgrade your darkness resistance. Or if you're running some Queen of the Forest, Ranger, Pathfinder, etc., and you're just running around, yes, you're going to need darkness resistance. But if you're staying on top of the cart, it doesn't matter. It really does not matter whether or not you have any darkness resistance whatsoever. Like, the only time it's going to matter, at least as you're delving early, is going to be for when monsters EMP charge the cart, and then you just drop a flare and you're good for those couple of seconds, and then you're standing on top of the cart again and you're fine. In terms of light radius, I've had some people that I've been partying with complain about my light radius, and then I let them know that your cart specs are different than mine. So the cart operates a little bit different than, let's say, the Atlas. So when we're mapping together in a party, I might be running off of my Atlas, right? So I'm chasing Shaper and Elder off of my Atlas. But if we're getting completions, they're going to count towards your Atlas if you're inside a map that you had not previously completed. Azurite and farming Azurite and getting upgrades for your cart are a little bit different. Because cart upgrades are account bound, when you log in to one of my delves and you join me, let's say you're at delve, depth 80. If you're way up here, oh goodness, that's 130 still. Like if you're way up here, okay, and you've only upgraded your light radius a few times, then of course when you join my delve and come into a party and you're like, hey bro, you need to upgrade your light radius, right? That tells me right away that you don't understand how the cart mechanics work. Cart mechanics are account bound. It's your upgrades that you've put into your cart are what are applying to you. So this could be that light radius actually looks different for two different people, or darkness resistance feels worse when you join somebody else's delve. And the reason why it feels worse is because they're delving at a different depth than you. So whenever you're chatting with anybody and you're like, hey, how's delve going for you? Make sure that you know what delve they're at, what delve depth they're at, because that really does make a big difference. So you can see here, I've got absolutely terrible darkness resistance, and it really does not matter because I'm only in the darkness for half a second while I'm in front of the cart, and then other than that, boom, back on top of the cart. I'm using Consecrated Path as my main damage source right now because why not? It's better flicker strike. There's literally no reason not to use it, so why not use it? In terms of secondary damage, using Vala Ancestral Warchief, which is great. As you can see here, light resistance doesn't really play a big factor, right? Like during the encounter and even pushing the cart. I'll do a longer delve after this one, but it really doesn't play into factor much in terms of darkness resistance or light radius. Like my light radius is pretty good at this point. This was the second thing that I chose to upgrade. Sulfite was the first, and then move on to light radius. But it's like both of them are inconsequential, at least in my playstyle, versus actually having the option to actually delve, which is the sulfite. The second thing that I'm going to chat about is prioritization of nodes. So right now, because it's so important to upgrade all the stuff on my cart, I'm really going for all of these Azurite stuff unless I'm pushing down. So right now, if it was just a regular old day and I'm delving, I'm probably going to go for all of this Azurite here just because it's simple and it's easy. But for the sake of the video, we're going to do this logger delve and come over here for this Azurite, because you can always backtrack. You can always backtrack to go grab Azurite, but if you're in the mood to push and you just want your delve depth to go down, then you can always do that. Now you saw I passed some forgotten loot there. Don't really care about it because frankly it's not worth dying, right? So whatever is in that chest, like even if it's an X, like yes, okay, that would be cool, but it's just not worth like staying behind the cart and then spending a bunch of time like upgrading my darkness resistance so that way I can do that again. If you really want to find stuff in the darkness, then you need to be running a build specifically designed for that. Like why not just build a darkness runner? But if you're designing a pusher, and I think we're going to see this meta kind of come out if Delve goes core, we'll see a meta of people that just run in the darkness and builds that run in the darkness, as well as builds that push deep into the delve. And I already actually started to see this yesterday or the day before as I was checking out the forums, that there are a lot of builds right now that are going on that are discussing either their ability to push delve depth or run into the darkness and how they do that. Like there's some tricksters out there, there's some pathfinders, there's some CI builds. A bunch of different YouTube content creators have come out with them. Ziggy D came out with one, Gouda came out with one. I kind of feel bad mentioning those guys because then that means that I'm not mentioning somebody else that's probably come out with some. Anyway, those were the guys that I've seen that have done it. So it's clearly developing a meta. Like Delve is clearly going to develop a meta, not necessarily for play styles, but for build styles. Like it could be that you just don't care about running in the darkness and picking up resonators and fossils and crafting, and that's totally cool. I don't particularly enjoy that at the moment. At some point I may try it, but at the moment I'm definitely just enjoying pushing the cart down and enjoying the progress that in that regard. Also, I'm still enjoying mapping, which has been really fun this league. I think maps are dropping better for me this league than any other league. Oh, there was some EMP. Didn't even care about it. Didn't even have to drop a flare. Like the EMP lasted so shortly that I didn't even have to worry about like the darkness damage that I was going to take. So, all right. So that's a little bit of my strategy. Collect Azurite, upgrade Sulfite so I can delve as long as I want, or at least at a longer clip, and then upgrade light radius, and then upgrade darkness resistance because I just don't care about it. But other than that, that's pretty much what I've been doing in Delve. So hopefully you all are having a great time in Delve. What Delve depth are you at, and what build are you running? Those are my two questions for you. So I'm really enjoying this Juggernaut. I got down to about level 120 on Chieftain Ascendancy, and then I swapped over to Juggernaut, and it was just so much easier. I just stopped dying while doing delves, and that's like the key. Like each delve, at least mentally, in my mind, each attempted delve is almost like a mini labyrinth, right? Because like if you fail it, you lose the sulfite cost and you've got to reattempt it. So it's kind of like a labyrinth in that, if you fail it, if you die in there, you got to reattempt it, and it's just a waste of resources. So I wanted to swap over from a build that did way more damage, which was my Chieftain build, and that did a ton of damage. Consecrated Path Chieftain does a ton of damage, but it just wasn't as tanky as this guy running around with 9 endurance charges and 79 maximum resistance thanks to Lore Weave. So I need to get that as an 80. But anyway, let us know down in the comments below, what delve depth are you at? I'm hoping to push 200 here at some point. Maybe I'll make a video once I hit 200 and we'll see what things are like. I believe the endgame challenge this league is 300 and 600. Yeah, reach 100 and then reach 600 in your mind. Okay, so there you go. So we need to reach 600. So at 200, I'll be a third of the way there. But I'm sure the scale of difficulty is going to go way up. Anyway, leave us a comment down below. And as always, you can check out Patreon for more options and more communiques coming from G3, as well as joining the Discord and joining the guild.